Good evening, and welcome back to the Lit Lane Jury Box. Tonight we're going to hear from Mahogany. Let me go turn the TV off, and I'll be right back to start this content. All right, we are back for part 5 of Trial Watch with Demetra. This is the Tennessee versus Sean Finnegan sex torture case. If you missed any part of this series, please know that we have a playlist called Trial Watch with Demetra. And on that playlist, each part is numbered, and you will be able to find the part that you missed. Okay, my flower is present and on time. Okay, and I see that none of y'all is abusing the be late, get away, wait. Nobody I see is abusing the 1 week late pass. I see. I appreciate that. What's up, M. Renee? What's up, pretty eye Shanny? I think she came early. She gonna probably be back. That's my homegirl, H-Town homegirl. What's up, Santa Francis? What's up, Winter? P.O.P. Hold me down. And welcome back to the Lit. Hey, what's up, Kurt Vixen? Welcome back to the Lit Lane Jury Box. Okay, so you guys know I've got to give my recap of where we are at with this trial watch. This is part 5. We have heard so far. Well, first of all, Tennessee versus Sean Finnegan. This is the defendant, Sean Finnegan. This is a death penalty case. Sean Finnegan blah. Sean Finnegan is charged with several counts. The most severe of them all is murder 1, as well as torture, as well as kidnap, as well as abuse of a corpse, as well as etc., 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 etc. Okay, this is a death penalty case once again. He had a co-conspirator, Miss um, Rebecca. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. Oh my gosh. Uh, Rebecca Dishman. Rebecca Dishman, his girlfriend at the time, who was in a consensual BDSM relationship with him, okay, has already pled guilty at the time of this trial. She pled guilty. She became a witness for the state, and by doing so, testifying against the defendant, Sean, she was able to escape the death penalty. The victim in this case was 36-year-old Jennifer Paxton, mother of 6, drug addict, alcoholic. She was indigent, and had some of the problems with being homeless, some of the things that came with that lifestyle, the drugs, the prostitution, all of those things. The state is alleging that Sean lured her to his house with the promise of, being able to eat, being able to take a shower. And once they had her there, they proceeded to hold her hostage against her will, chaining her up to the bed, torturing her both physically, sexually, before eventually unaliving her. They kept the body hidden in a freezer in the bedroom closet for over 8 months. So that's pretty much the recap. At this point in time, the most significant testimony that we have seen, and I do believe you'll find that on part 2, is the testimony of the co-conspirator Rebecca Dishman. Please be advised, it's a lot and very graphic testimony on that part too that's on the playlist. We heard from the aunt of the victim as far as giving her character. We heard from neighbors. Last night we started with the neighbors. We heard from one lady who lived behind them that said, okay, she can recall now that everything came out. She do remember one day back in December or January, somewhere thereabout, she heard a lot of scuffling downstairs because she could hear through the fireplace, and then she heard the commotion move upstairs when she heard the bed squeaking. She thought it was simply the two, Rebecca and Sean, having sex. When questioned about why she didn't call the police, she said because she didn't want to get in their business. We left off last night with the testimony from Colt Pico. Colt Pico is a neighbor that lived across the street. Colt Pico, he kept to his own business and didn't really get involved with the neighbors, but his wife, Mahogany, was the complete opposite. Colt Pico went in to testify about how long he'd been knowing them, his characterization of Rebecca, his characterization of Sean, and the involvement he played in helping his wife, Mahogany, to come up with a plan and execute to execute a plan to help get Rebecca out of the defendant's household. They thought and believed that she had been a victim of domestic violence, and so they were trying to help her. The wife, Mahogany, was trying to help her escape from that type of environment. So tonight, all of that leads up to tonight's testimony, much anticipated testimony of Mahogany Pico. Okay, Mahogany was a friend. Mahogany befriended Rebecca, the co-conspirator. We're gonna find out about their relationship and what part she played, because Mahogany was the one at the end of the day who confessed, who Rebecca confessed this crime to. And she played a significant part in having the police discover this whole deal, right? So that's what we finna jump in tonight. I hope you guys are ready. Hey, foot soldier. I am ready. I am very, I watched this trial as it happened and took place, but I think I watched it 6 months ago. And when I'm not watching with you guys, I may be watching it before I go to sleep or watching it while I'm doing other stuff. So a lot of things I don't recall, or it just didn't hit me the same way. So I'm ready to get into it, and we have a long testimony. It's definitely going to take up the full 2 hours that we run this show. So I don't want to talk. I want to go ahead and get to it. Y'all, I already know y'all probably hit the like. Thank you. Where is the video file? Here we go. So we're going to get started. And I was supposed to have an intro done for this live and this content. As y'all can tell, I didn't get nothing done I was supposed to do today. But I had a good live with you guys on Lit Lane. Check that out if you missed it. It was nice. I had a good time. The chat said they had a good time. Just kicking the bubble and talking. So I'm not complaining. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is it.
Next apartment
interact.
where you and how do you know that? When the police arrived again?
Yes.
How did this particular situation
Hey,
end?
mixology.
You say you
Welcome
told the
to
jury
Lit
that
Lane
the
Jury
police went
Box.
around.
Good to see you. Happy holidays to you. Y'all know this is
Living room on this
Thanksgiving
side.
week. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me hit mute. I guess I could hit mute. Let me see what you say. See, now I know you intentionally want to tell people they late, right? I can't tell nobody they late this week, girl. I gave the Lit Lane Jury Box a free pass, and I saw that somebody was trying to use their free pass, doing the live earlier, but they must have misconstrued, because the late pass is only for Trial Watch with Demetra. It is not for Lit Lane in general. Yeah, so they misconstrued that, okay? Oh my God. Y'all gonna kill me. Hold on. Oh Lord. I know you lying. Hold on. Let me see. Child, I don't know why I don't be checking my recordings. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Let me see. Let me see. Is this the hearing part, the motion?
What were the circumstances of how Rebecca,
Wait a minute, this might just...
she was riding with
Oh,
you?
you've been
or
here?
how-
Okay,
She was
Mix.
riding with me until we got here, and then she went over into the detective's car.
Okay.
And from here, we went to Oak Ridge.
And
Hold on, I don't think this is
Rebecca,
testimony. Hey,
and the
chill out.
detective were first interchanging?
I'm sorry?
Were you present
Hey,
when they
good,
were
chill
first
out.
interacting?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, on Becca's side, yes.
Okay.
Okay, let me see,
Handy,
because...
more
Hold on.
predominantly.
Let me push pause.
Both of them.
All right, because one part of this, y'all remember last night, was the hearing part, as far as to try to see if they were, what part of her testimony they were going to allow. So I need to make sure this is the actual testimony and not the hearing. Let's see from right here.
So you're bringing us the same stuff.
Oh,
as
child, this when he
448
closed
now?
that book
No,
up real
no,
fast.
just
What's
the-
up,
just
lady
the,
Steph?
The kidnapping, that, in
Nah,
fact, that he,
I'm not gonna bring up the kidnapping.
Yep.
I'm not gonna, I've already ruled on that before.
under 404.
We saw this part last night, huh? Lady Steph walk up in here. I would say you're late. I would have said you tardy, but I can't do that. Maybe I should make a... No, I can't make a list. I can't retroact. Okay. Lady Steph say the terms and conditions of the previously... Oh, Lord. See, now everybody want to be a lawyer. The terms and conditions of the previously granted late pass were not made clear to all of us on this Lit Lane channel. I contest. Girl. Oh, that come on early. I think I might have had it set up for 7:15 off my phone, but I meant for it to be for 7. No, I think I set it for 7:15, and I said to myself, I said, you know what, Demetra? Don't start that being a little late shit. Come on time. And that's why I came on time. I was not trying to set people up. Mix, don't drop down starting those stuff now. Let's see what type of face Judge Ash will make tonight. Okay, Judge Ash be making a lot of face. Okay. Girl, I know you not said, I know you don't mean twat I miss. I know that's a mix. I know that's a type error. What they call it? A typo. But that's a hell of a typo. Chill out. What's up, Kathy Smith? Girl, I ain't seen the word twat in a long time. I am for 2025. Yeah, I said it for 7:20, but I said, you know what? Let me be on time. That's what I said. So I'm sorry for the confusion. I didn't even think about it may be causing people confusion because it was scheduled. I didn't think about that. But I did think about I need to just be on time. I wasn't doing nothing, be on time. That's what I thought about. Chill out, girl. Let me tell you what you just did. You have inspired me, right? I'm easily inspirable, okay? So for 2025, did I say, hey, Kat, welcome back to the Little Nigeria Box. For 2025, I am not going to be saying coochie. Because I'll be saying coochie this and coochie that and coochie, right? So I'm not going to be saying coochie for 2025 because it sounds so immature and so hood. Oh, Lord, I forgot this is also being aired on my new channel, Trial Watch with Demetra. For if there's any new folks over there on Trial Watch with Demetra, happy holidays to you. That channel will be officially launched January 2025. Right now, I'm over here on my other channel, kicking it with my folks, and we're going to be talking and stuff like that. Thank you for coming. Check out the playlist. And I'm sorry y'all have to hear about coochie, okay? I won't be talking about that type of stuff over there. Okay? Now, for Lil Lane. I will. What's up, Miss Steph 219? What's up, Lady T? Ain't none of y'all late. Okay. I was inspired, you guys, just coming in a timely fashion. I was just inspired by Chill Out, who has gotten relaxed, because y'all know she works very, 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 very hard, and she actually has the week off. Okay, so she's relaxed and joining us in the chat tonight, and she dropped down and inspired me. For 2025, I will not be using the word coochie. I think it's played. I think it's delayed. I think it's immature. I think when I'm referring to coochie and coochie activities, I'm going to be using the word twat. I'm going to use the word twat. Okay? So I'll be like, girl, that girl was over there talking about her twat and stuff instead of coochie. It sounds better. I mean, it sounds more. I can't be talking like this, and I'm streaming on. What's up, Jill's comfort zone? What's up, Tiki? Mixologists say twat is no better. Right. I think twat is more like descriptive and a little bit more twat sounds a little bit more I think twat might be a little bit, that might be a little too much. I don't think I need to switch up, y'all. I just tried it on for size, and I just don't think, because I say coochie a lot. Don't ask me why I say coochie a lot, but I say coochie almost once a lot. I think I say coochie at least once every beef sector live. So I just don't think I can be saying twat. It looked good in writing. It looked good. So chill out. I'm gonna pull that out. I think when I'm dragging somebody, okay, and when in conversation, I'm gonna take this off the other channel. Hold on. Ow! I'm cutting the live off this other channel. Oh Lord. Okay. Remove it from trial. Watch with Demetra. Okay. Delete on YouTube. Okay. I was doing I can't do that. Okay. Now, in regular conversation, I'ma say coochie. But when I'm dragging one of these heifers around here or roasting one of these hoes around here about that old stinking ass twat, I'ma use twat. Cause when I'm dragging, roasting, and stuff like that, and doing beef sector shit commentary, twat is very apropos. But when I'm just talking and being a lady, coochie is cute and ladylike. Okay. So we've been talking about that for 5 minutes. My bad. But I had to figure that out because I was about to make the 2025 a whole year of saying twat, and I cannot go into 2025 going backwards. Okay, so chill out. Thank you, girl. And if anybody opposed to this conversation, please take it up with Chill Out. She'll be here all week. Okay. When it's stinking, it's a twat. Oh my God. You just tried to take me out. Chill Out just tried to take me out. Excuse me, y'all. I choked. I'm sorry. I know that was gross, but let me tell you, I was dying. Okay, let me get started because y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. Let me find this clip. All right, I'm gonna need. Okay, let's get started with the testimony of one Miss Mahogany Pico, the neighbor and friend of the co-conspirator, who's already pled guilty, and we heard her testimony on part 2 and 3. Rebecca Dishman. Let's go.
448, I'm not allowed it either. I think it's mislead under 403, I think. misleading, confusing to the jury, and simply cannot allow that to be introduced. Okay, so we're ready to get Ms. Mahogany to get our answers.
We are, sir. Thank you.
All right, so if you get our jury, bring them in, please.
Tiki, we gotta look it up in the Urban Dictionary. I'm gonna look it up. Yes, but you gotta remember, Mahogany. She gonna tell him, but Mahogany was taking her to try to go to a domestic violence shelter, and when that fell through, that's when Rebecca told Mahogany about the body in the freezer. Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, if you'll step up here next to me, please. You'll raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you, ma'am. You have a seat right here. If you'll tell us both your first name and last name and spell them both, and if you'll speak up to the microphone, they'll help all of us hear. All right? Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead.
Mahogany Pico, MAHOGANY
Perfect. Just a little louder for me, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Questions? Go ahead. Joe.
Ms. Pico, do you live here in Anderson County, Tennessee?
Yes.
In Oak Ridge, as a matter of fact?
Yes.
And in 2019, 2020, did you live in Oak Ridge?
Yes.
Where did you live in Oak Ridge in 2020?
On Florida Avenue,
Mahogany
Okay,
pretty.
do you
She got a
recall the
pretty
specific
style,
address?
a cute face.
305 Florida Avenue.
305. Who'd you live with?
My husband, Cole,
Okay. How long ago did you move out of there?
in 2020.
Okay. And how long had you lived there when you were back in 2020?
Since 2015, 2016.
Okay, several years.
Yes.
Were your children born there? Not
Yes.
physically there, but were your
Right.
children born when you were living there?
Yes, my youngest,
Okay. And how many children do you have?
2.
Lady T, I
We've
told you
already
hello,
heard a
didn't
little
I?
bit about
I think I did.
the property there. If I can show you an exhibit. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes,
Exhibit number 14. It's been previously admitted. Do you recognize what that is a photo of?
Yes.
And you see how Google is circled on the bottom of that? It's a Google. You're familiar with Google Street View?
Yes.
Do you recognize that particular building?
Yes.
And what's that building?
That is where Rebecca and Sean lived.
Okay. If we could display that while she's talking to us, Judge. It's Exhibit 14, so the jury can see that as well. Ms. Pico, the exhibit number 14, we're looking at the building that you said that Sean Finnegan and Rebecca lived at.
Yes.
How many other people lived there? Let's talk about their unit first. How many people lived with them?
Also his mother.
Okay. And how old was his mother, if you know?
I do not know that. She was older.
70s, 80s?
70s, 80s.
Okay. And how long did you know Mr. Finnegan?
AKA Ma
Do you recall
Bates.
when he was in?
I can remember when he moved in, but not the exact time.
Okay. But you were there before him?
Yes.
And you were there before Rebecca Dishman?
Yes.
Did Rebecca Dishman come in to that unit before or after Mr. Finnegan?
After Sean.
Okay. So Sean lived there with his mother, and then Rebecca came. Is that
Yes.
what you're saying? Okay. And describe, if you would, in Exhibit 14, how are these how are these buildings comprised, or how many tenants are in these buildings?
There's 4 units,
Okay.
and I don't understand.
How many tenants are in this? You said 4 units. Are they all alike?
Oh, yes. In that unit, yes.
All right. And are there different numbers of bedrooms though in the units?
Yes, the 2 on the end are single bedrooms.
Okay. And the 2 in the middle?
2 bedrooms.
And which did Sean Finnegan and Rebecca Dishman live in?
They lived in a 2-bedroom.
So if we're looking at this Exhibit 14, is it to the roadside or to the away from the roadside?
To the
2-bedroom.
roadside.
Okay. And where in relation to your apartment was that apartment that you just identified as them living in?
Straight across behind them.
Okay. So from this picture, this vantage, it's to our left from this picture's vantage point?
Yes.
Okay. But the unit exactly opposite?
Yes.
All right. And obviously, there's a driveway that we see there, so people are coming and going. And are you a person who pays attention to people coming and going, or are you a person that kind of sticks to yourself?
I pay attention.
You what?
I pay attention.
Okay. And as far as your husband is concerned, does he interact with neighbors and folks in that nature?
No.
Of that no. How come?
He likes to mind his business.
Okay. And do you follow suit?
No.
Okay. You involve yourself with friends? All right.
Yes.
She
Do you
friendly.
do you have friends in the neighborhood?
Everybody her friend dropping child.
And so your neighbors become your friends?
Yes.
All right. And did you at some point form a friendship with the defendant, Sean Finnegan, in this case?
I did.
Okay. Do you, I'll just ask straight out, do you enjoy smoking pot?
I did.
All right. And did you have a shared affinity for that with the defendant, Mr. Finnegan?
I did.
Okay. And so you have you engaged in that with him before?
Yes.
How many times would you say when he lived there and you lived there?
Several.
Okay. Several as in dozens, hundreds?
Dozens.
Dozens?
Hundreds.
Okay. And why?
Dang,
why
she been in
was
her
it
neighbor
that
house
you
hundreds of
sought
times?
him out for that
Wow.
purpose?
I
He's
guess
the
over the
neighbor.
years.
Do you smoke in your house?
No,
Why do you not smoke in your house?
because my children.
And so what would you have to do to smoke either? Do you smoke cigarettes as well?
Yes, I would go outside or over to Sean's.
Okay. Were there any other neighbors that you participated in that with?
Rebecca.
Okay. But specifically that apartment.
Correct.
So how much time would you say you've spent in that apartment? I'm turning your attention.
You just said hundreds.
2019 and 2020, when Sean and Rebecca were there together, how much time would you say you spent in the apartment?
Each time I went over, no more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, so that's
And
when you ain't got
what would
hired.
you do when you went there?
We would
Smoke.
smoke, talk, joke.
Socialize.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
What's up, Steph 2-1?
And would you consider yourself friends
Let me get
at
Mr.
the
Coffee.
time with Sean Finnegan?
Yes.
I'm listening. I'll be
Would you
right back.
consider yourself friends at the time with Rebecca Dishman?
Yes.
Would you consider yourself friends at the time with Francis Finnegan?
Yes.
And how much interaction did you have with Francis Finnegan?
Just hi, bye, how are you? She would talk sometimes, you know. I would take her a flower or two. That's it.
Was Mrs. Finnegan, Francis Finnegan, that is, what was her physical condition?
She was elderly. She didn't get around well.
Okay.
She needed assistance in some things.
Do you know if she needed medication? I mean, were you aware of any of that?
I know that she needed medication. Sean told me that she had been on hospice, and from the time that she lived there to, you know, the last couple of months, her health had went down.
Okay. And so she was on some pretty powerful medications?
Yeah.
Were you aware of what they were?
No.
Okay. But pain medications?
Pain
Yes,
medication.
chill out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've told the jury that Sean moved in at some point, then Rebecca moved in. Do you recall when it was that Rebecca moved in?
I know, I think it was around October. It was about September, October
In what year?
2019.
2019, before COVID?
Yes, before COVID.
Okay. And were you friends with, and did you interact with or socialize with Sean Finnegan prior to Rebecca moving into the neighborhood?
Yes, barely.
Okay. And what did you understand the nature of the relationship between Sean Finnegan and Rebecca was?
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay. Do you know how long they dated prior to Rebecca moving there?
No.
Would you have interaction when you went over, either socially or to smoke with them? Would you have interaction with both, one, or which one more predominantly?
Both of them. There was at times to be one or the other.
Okay. And you knew in that capacity you got to know Rebecca?
Mm-hmm.
Did Rebecca drive?
No, she didn't.
How would she get places?
Sean would take her.
Okay. Did you ever provide transportation for her?
She would ride along with me to places, to the store and stuff.
Like what kind of places?
The grocery store.
So this is the first time we heard, besides the fact, well, not besides, along with the fact that Rebecca had the freedom to go in and out the house all day. She had access to her neighbors. She had access to two of the female neighbors who didn't testify, the first lady and this lady. She had access to their phones. Now, additionally, we are learning that she also left from the property with a neighbor. So she had a lot of different times where she could have reached out for help. She could have passed a note to the lady at the Piggly Wiggly saying, help me, if she didn't want to involve the neighbors. Okay? So that's something new we just learned.
Did you ever provide Sean that kind of rides or things like that?
There was one when I first started talking to him. I seen him walking, and I was like, "Hey, that's my neighbor that recently moved in. Let me see if he needs a ride."
Okay, so you
I gave him a ride.
Okay.
And dropped him off.
Well, what was your understanding of the vehicle situation there at the house?
His car had broken down at the time.
Okay. Did Rebecca know how to drive?
She says she did, but I'm not sure she did. She had a vehicle, but she never drove it.
Okay.
I never seen her drive it. I never seen her behind the wheel.
Okay. So in terms of your seeing and then being able to evaluate their relationship, how many hours would you say you spent with them in the time that you were living there prior to August 5th of 2020?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Would you say a lot?
Yeah, a lot of hours.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So did you have an opinion of Rebecca based on your interaction with her about her affect or her demeanor or her person, what she was like?
Yes.
Tell the members of the jury, what was Rebecca Dishman like?
Rebecca is more, she goes about doing things slower. She don't really understand stuff unless you really have to explain it to her.
Okay.
She's more like one of my children.
Okay. What role did you play in that relationship, do you think?
Judge, I'm going to object it. I think that you're bolstering the witness at this point.
All of them. Go ahead.
What role did you play in that relationship with Rebecca? What role did you see yourself as?
Like big sister, mother.
turning your attention to Halloween, did you have a specific interaction with Rebecca on Halloween?
Yes, I took her trick-or-treating.
Okay. And
Took her trailer. Wait a
with regard
minute.
to-
Wait. She must mean she Rebecca went with her and her children trick or treating. She can't mean that she took Rebecca trick or treating. Okay, so we gonna just go ahead and assume that that's what she meant. And I just want to say this. I think Rebecca got a whole bunch of people fooled. I think Rebecca, no, she's not the brightest. No, she's not a genius. No, she's not going to probably, score high on the SAT. Okay? She is a little bit on the dimmer side. But as far as Rebecca being an all and out, just slow, incapable, okay, and needs to have her hand held so much, I think all of that was an act. Okay? I truly believe that that's an act. And I think that's an act that she picked up on long time ago. I think she picked up on the fact early in life that she get more help and she can be more lazy and she can get more her way by pretending to be the dumbest rock of them all. I think Rebecca's very manipulative. And she has honed in on the skill of making people feel sorry for her and wanting to help her. Okay? I think Rebecca could have pulled a Kelser Soze. I don't know who that is, y'all. I'm going to have to look it up. Mick say, I've never seen an incapable person speak so well. Exactly. And be so freaky, right? Sassy say she took her trick-or-treating right along with her kids. Right with her kids. Okay, it could have been just by herself, child. Okay, I'm going to let it play because I'm cutting it. I'm going to let it play. But chill out. Go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. More than likely, the little lane jurors, they'll go ahead. Your fellow jurors, they'll go ahead and answer as soon as when you put it in. And if I see it's gone unanswered, I'll come in. I'll break it at a good time. Okay? Or type it in.
Her, when you were talking about her person, is there something happened on Halloween that would have you understand her a little better?
She dressed up on Halloween.
And what did she do when she dressed up on Halloween?
She went trick-or-treating.
How so?
What's the relevance of this?
Her childlike demeanor, Judge.
Yeah, I think you've made the point. I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Did you get to a point with Rebecca in your relationship, looking from the beginning to the end, where things were changing in terms of her relationship with Sean that caused you concern?
Yes, she was coming over with bruises and.
Okay. In terms of that, you told the jury you think October of 2019, and we know August 5th of 2020. In that 9, 11 months, 10 months, not sure if I'm calculating that right, but in that time frame between when she moved in and when things happened with her, when did you start noticing those types of things, that she'd come over with bruises and things like that?
By that November, she was starting to come over more with the bruises and stuff by November.
So within months of her moving in?
Yes.
And what did you personally observe between them with regard to their relationship in terms of who was in charge?
That.
Objection, it's asking for her to speculate and give an opinion.
What did she observe?
Right. I'll overrule. I think she can tell me what her observation is.
Well, seeing from the bruises and stuff on her body and stuff, seeing that.
Objection, now she's.
I didn't hear what you saying.
Seeing the bruises.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection. The question was, what did you observe about their relationship.
About their relationship and who led the relationship.
I seen Sean as the leader.
Okay. And how so? What did you observe that made you conclude that?
Him being controlling, he would tell her if she could use my phone or not.
Okay. Other things that he would tell her?
If she
what were the other
couldn't
things?
come back to my house, if I continued to let her use my phone.
Okay. And so there was an issue, obviously, with your phone?
Very controlling.
Yes.
What was the situation with regard to the phone, to Rebecca having access to a phone? Tell the members of the jury that.
She would get on Facebook and talk to her friends, and he didn't like that at all.
Okay.
Any male friends, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, now, I'd like to ask, what's the basis of her knowledge of that? I think it's hearsay, Judge.
Okay, I'll sustain, but you're gonna have to lay the foundation about how she would know that.
Did you hear Sean telling her things about her phone use and her access to you and things of that nature?
He told me personally not to let her use my phone anymore, or she cannot come over.
Well, that's direct enough, huh?
That he was forbidding that?
Yes.
And you said that at some point, though, you lent her a phone?
Yes.
Okay. What were the circumstances for you lending her a phone?
So she could talk with her friends on Messenger.
Was that before or after he would say, don't let her come over, don't let her use phones?
That was after, so she would still have a way to talk.
Okay. So you were not listening to what he was saying?
Right.
Why?
I just felt he was being too controlling to her.
Okay.
And her being the way she was, I wanted to help her.
Her being the way she was, I wanted to help her. Go ahead and tell the member of the jury, her being the way she was, what do you mean by that?
I think we're back down the same path we were a second ago.
I'll overrule. You can answer that.
Her being in her childlike mind, she would just bow down to him instead of somebody being an adult, be like, I can do this still. It's just him saying stuff to me.
Okay. And so you would intervene and help in that way?
Yes.
And who was it that she was trying to contact on Facebook?
Okay, so Tiki and Renee, y'all must be sipping on the eggnog too early. Y'all know Rebecca testified. Rebecca was the girlfriend. Rebecca was the one who said she got dog collared on her. Rebecca's the one who said that he made her orgasm over the victim. Rebecca is the one that had the jailhouse jail guard boyfriend. And Rebecca's testimony is on part 2. Okay, for anyone who missed it.
Or on your phone?
Ramesses,
Okay. Who's Ramesses?
an ex-boyfriend, fiance.
Okay. And would she also use your phone to contact the defendant, if you know?
Yes.
Okay. Because at the time, were you aware where he worked?
I know he worked somewhere in Knoxville at a bar.
Okay. And do you know what he did there?
Cook.
Okay. And the defendant, of course, had a phone,
Yes.
and he had a vehicle?
Yes.
You already told us? Okay. And so, with regard to the communication with the defendant, how would your borrowed phone be used in a manner to communicate with him, if you know?
She would text him.
Okay. Do you recall when you lent the phone out to her?
Anytime that I would smoke with her, she would use my phone.
Okay. So you would go over and lend her your phone, and she would do things on your phone?
Yeah.
Did your phone have service, or was it Wi-Fi?
Both.
Okay. And so what kinds of services would you allow her to use on your phone?
I just gave her my phone. She just wanted to use it.
Was it an extra phone, or just for...
One was an extra phone, yes.
Okay. So were there times when you would leave the phone with her?
Yes.
And so there are Do you recall when that began?
No,
When you would have lent that to her?
I just off and on.
Do you recall when it ended?
Yes, that day that I took her,
What day?
on August 5th.
Okay. And with
It's
regard
a
to
must.
the
Keep
communications
getting
that
there.
she
Y'all gotta
was
go back and
making
watch
on
that
that
part. Y'all
phone,
got to.
were you aware of the nature of them?
No,
Are you aware now?
yes.
If I could, Judge, Exhibit 1 for identification, and may I approach? Ms. Pico, what I'm handing you has been marked, I'm going to take away Exhibit 14. What I'm handing you has been marked for identification as Exhibit number 1. Could you just leaf through that and tell us that's a 100 and how many pages document?
115.
Okay. And you have, previous to trial, you and I have met, and General Keith, Agent Hannon, and you've seen that document before, is that right?
Yes,
How is it that you know you've seen that document before?
because I went through and read every one of them.
Okay. And in the upper right-hand corner of each page, right-hand corner, or where, is there a notation on there that shows you that you've reviewed that document?
Yes,
And what is that notation?
it's my initials.
You personally initialed that document, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are those, what do those appear to be?
Text messages back and forth.
Okay. And have you gone through that document and verified which were in fact you typing the keys versus somebody else?
Yes,
Okay. And do you know who those transmissions are to or where they're from?
yes.
Okay. And whose phone was your phone contacting in those 100 and some odd pages?
Sean.
Okay. Sean Finnegan, the defendant.
Yes,
Okay. And when is the first transmission in that report?
November the 2nd, 2019.
Okay. And when is the last?
February 27th, 2020.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. February the 28th of 2020.
Okay. And so, with regard to that document, you read through every single text, and did you identify the ones that are yours?
Yes,
And how did you note that on the exhibit?
I initialed it.
Okay. Approach again, Judge. Sure. So, you initialed the page, and then as you go through,
Yep, I highlighted.
highlighted, and the ones that are not highlighted, who had your phone when those were being sent?
Becca.
Okay. So right here, we have MSP highlighted, right? And the highlighted texts in here are all you, and the unhighlighted ones are Becca.
Yes.
Okay. And so, for example, on the first page, we'll do the first text here. We'll read this, okay? Yes, Daddy, I want it very much. I want to drool all over it and choke on it like a dirty little slut does for his master.
Ciao.
Okay? On November 2nd of 2019. Did you send that text?
No.
And we know that because it's unhighlighted.
Correct.
Who sent that text?
Rebecca.
Okay. And you've reviewed this entire document?
Yes.
We're going to leave it as identification until we get to the report. Okay.
Now riddle me this. Riddle me this. Please, y'all. Riddle me this. How slow can you be? How helpless can you be? How incompetent can you be with a sexting game like that? I see Tiki say, oh my. Mixology say, thank God for commercials. Sassy say, oh, with the faces, shocked. Lady T say, oh God, sick face, throw up. She'll say, damn, the commercial started as soon as he got to dirty little. Okay, so everybody who I just read, the Little Lane Jury Box, ain't none of y'all slow, ain't none of y'all dim with it, and half of y'all who typed was gagged. Oh, let me not use the word gag, okay? But she just shot y'all draws. She can't be that slow. Oh, there goes Miss Step 2 and I. Miss Step 2 and I say, my. Girl, remember they say, can you play that again, please? I sure can. Let's go.
November the 2nd, 2019.
Okay. And when is the last?
You know, it's hard for me to rewind on this video like this. Exactly. So we got to go back a little bit, okay?
February 27th, 2020.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry. February the 28th of 2020.
Okay. And so, with regard to that document, you read through every single text, and did you identify the ones that are yours?
Yes.
And how did you note that on the exhibit?
I initialed it.
Okay. Again, sure. So, you initialed the page, and then as you go through,
I'm sorry, I had to go back a
highlighted.
little bit further, but I don't have this
and the
this
ones
on
that
the
are
video.
not highlighted, who had your phone when those were being sent?
Becca.
Okay. So right here, we have MSP highlighted, right? And the highlighted texts in here are all you, and the unhighlighted ones are Becca.
Yes.
Okay. And so, for example, on the first page, we'll do the first text here. We'll read this, okay? Yes, Daddy, I want it very much. I want to drool all over it and choke on it like a dirty little slut does for his master.
Okay, I'm literally going to write that down for and that might give me my man back. I'm gonna send that message to my honey. Okay, verbatim. Period. Let's go.
Okay? On November 2nd of 2019. Did you send that text?
No.
And we know that because it's unhighlighted.
Correct.
Who sent that text?
Rebecca.
Okay. And you've reviewed this entire document?
Yes.
We're going to leave it as identification until we get to the report. Okay. And you read a bunch of messages like that, right?
Yes.
And when you got your phone received back, whenever you let her do that, were those
They
messages
say,
on
well,
the
all
phone?
right then.
So you weren't aware of that kind of talk being done through your phone?
No.
Oh, okay. During the time that the defendant was there living with Rebecca, obviously you said you know your neighbors, right? And you know what's going on in the neighborhood. I'm going to ask you a few more names. Phoenix. You know a female named Phoenix.
Yes.
And who was Phoenix?
She had come along, I'm guessing, from the bar as well, and she had stayed with Sean and Rebecca.
Did you at times?
I'll also rule. You can answer.
Let me just lay the foundation for this. While the time that Rebecca was living there, did multiple girls come and stay at the house at different times?
Yes.
Okay. And would stay overnight
Yes.
with the defendant
Yes.
and Rebecca
Yes.
and Miss Finnegan,
Yes.
Frances Finnegan.
Yes.
And Phoenix. Were you aware when Phoenix came?
Yes.
How long did Phoenix stay?
I think just a month.
Okay. Was that, do you recall what time frame that was?
Around Halloween.
Okay. Tasha Perry, did you, you know Tasha Perry?
I only seen her in and out of the car. I never got to meet her personally.
Okay. But did she come and stay?
Yes,
How long she come and stay?
couple of weeks.
And Sarah?
Sarah was in and out all the time.
That's Sarah with two little kids?
Yes.
None of those are the victim. The victim name is Jennifer
And
Paxton.
how about Jennifer?
I never seen Jennifer.
That's the
We're
victim.
talking about Jennifer Paxton, just to be clear. You never saw her?
I never saw her.
But you did at some point in your conversations with the defendant and your observations of their apartment, you obviously went into the living room.
Yes.
Was there a point in time where you observed a freezer in the living room?
Yes.
Do you recall when that occurred? Well, let me back up a little bit. A freezer in the living room, was that unusual to you?
Yes.
Yes, it drew your attention?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a new freezer or an old freezer?
It was new.
Okay. And did you inquire of the defendant, why do you have a freezer in your living room?
Yes.
And what did he say?
My landlord had it ordered to the wrong apartments. And I was like, okay, I get it, I understand that. So he's let it sit there until you come and got it.
Okay. And how long did that freezer stay in the living room, to your knowledge?
The next time I went over, it was gone, so I figured the landlord came and got it.
And so it was never discussed again?
No.
Were you present when the freezer arrived?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see it? Did you see it? Where did you first see it when it arrived?
On the dolly?
Okay. Did you see it being delivered, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Where?
where-
Questions back to the DA.
Monty, you mixology, you and Mahogany look like y'all could be cousins, girl. Okay. Now I wonder at this point in time, this testimony, the freezer was new. It just got there. It was in the living room. I wonder if they had the body in the freezer in the living room, or was that before they moved it up the stairs? Just wondering.
I'm sorry, I'll sustain.
Sorry.
I think yes. When were you present when the freezer was delivered?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what company or who?
I didn't pay attention.
Okay. But the time frame between the delivery of the freezer and your conversation with him about it being a landlord mistake, and it you seeing it in the living room, how long did that take? How many, was it days, weeks?
A couple of days.
Okay. So the time frame from delivery to the time frame it's in the living room and gone, and that's a matter of days?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, during your interaction with Rebecca, at some point you become concerned. And tell us what it is that causes you to be concerned about Rebecca's welfare.
And I seen her again, and she had a black eye, and her glasses were broke because he had hit her in the face.
And what was your complaint?
Objection to he hit her in the face. I don't know if she saw that or not.
I'll sustain that.
I
We'll
didn't
disregard that must be a proof that she saw that. Okay, go ahead.
Did you see how she got the black eye?
No, I didn't.
Okay. But based on a conversation with her, what did you do?
I wanted to get her help,
Okay. How so?
get her out of there.
Did you confide that in anybody in your own residence?
Yes, my husband.
Okay. What was his reaction?
He didn't want to help, but He did, because I wasn't giving up.
Okay. And with regard to wanting to help and assist, what were you going to do? What was your plan for what you were going to do to get her help?
Finding a woman's abuse shelter.
Okay. Did you do anything prior to that with regard to her family? Trying to locate anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the members of the jury, what efforts did you make before we get to the shelter? What efforts did you make as far as communication?
Objection, relevance.
I'll overrule. Go ahead, you answer.
Okay. I try to contact her family members on Facebook.
Okay. How many family members did you try and contact?
2.
And were you successful, or did you get any response?
No response from any of them.
Okay. And so after that, what was your next plan?
Woman's abuse shelter.
Why?
Because she was,
Objection to what was happening. She only knows what she was told.
I'll sustain.
because what I seen,
Let's let him ask another question. Next question.
What did you see that caused you to ramp from, I got to contact family, to, I got to get her to a shelter?
each time I seen her, she was having more bruises.
Okay. And you physically saw those on her?
Yes.
And so, at some point, we turn your attention to August 5th of 2020. You recall that day, of course. What were you doing on that date?
It started out a normal day.
Did you did you speak with your husband that day, obviously, about the issue?
I did.
Okay. Was there any developments or things that changed on that day?
Yes, he found a woman abuse shelter that would take in Becca,
Okay. And where was that going to be?
Claiborne County.
Why'd you have to go out there?
Okay, so if she wanted to help Rebecca so bad, which is good, that's awesome. But why she had to have her husband call around to the shelters? Why she couldn't do it? That's weird. But let's continue.
That's the only one we could find, first one.
Okay. So, only one you could find, meaning you looked in other places?
The number that he had looked for other places, yes.
But this just happened to be one that you could find?
That
or?
they answered and said, yes, we have a spot for her.
Okay. And so on that date, you said you arranged, what was going to be the plan for how this was going to happen, getting her out of there, so to speak?
That I was going to borrow a buddy of ours' car, and I was going to drive her
Okay.
to the police station first to do
And
an order.
did you communicate that with somebody from the shelter, or how was that?
Yes, but they had to hear it from Becca's mouth, so Becca got on the phone with them.
Did you witness that conversation?
Yes, on Becca's side, yes.
Okay. And based on that, what did you do?
I took Becca. I took her.
Okay. Prior to doing that, did you prepare for her leaving?
Yes, I helped her get her bags together.
Okay. Where did you go to do that?
Over to the apartments, over to her house.
Okay. And where in her house did you go?
Upstairs to the second floor.
Okay. And with regard to the clothing, where did you find and get and retrieve her clothing?
Out of the drawers.
Okay. What about the closet?
Didn't pay no attention to it.
And how much clothing did you get for her?
We got 4 garbage bags and 2 tote bags.
Okay. Where was Miss Finnegan when this was happening?
She was upstairs in her room.
Did you have any interaction with her?
Yes, when I first come in, she asked,
Any objection to what?
Objection to hearsay.
Okay. You can't tell me what she told you, okay?
You did have a conversation with her?
yes.
Yes. The answer is yes?
Yes.
You had a conversation with her? Yes. And was she in a position where she could see what was happening?
Yes, her window faced the driveway.
Okay. And you got garbage bags?
Yeah.
And Becca? And along the way, you went to Claiborne County?
Yes.
Okay, describe for the jury what happened when you get to Claiborne County.
Over at the jailhouse.
Yes.
We get there and we're waiting on the lady from the women abuse shelter. We're supposed to meet her there so we can get an order of protection, and then she would go with Rebecca to the women abuse shelter, but she never showed.
Okay.
So when we got there, we tried to contact an officer at that building to let them know what was going on, and they said that we needed to call 911, that they couldn't let anybody in the building because of COVID.
And why is it, Mahogany, tell the members of the jury, why is it that you're, that today's the day that you're bringing her to a shelter?
Because she was done.
Okay. What did you feel like was going to happen if you didn't?
She'd be hurt really bad.
Speculation.
It's her motivation, Judge, to.
Still speculation? I appreciate the motivation, but still speculation.
Yes, sir. And so along the way, did you and Rebecca talk?
Yes.
Did that conversation cause you to abandon the plan that you had to bring her to a shelter?
No, because I was already going to the police station.
Okay. But was something said that caused you to turn around? What did you do?
Overruled.
Did something happen to cause you to turn around and come back to town?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And was that based on a conversation you had?
Yes.
And not with what was said, but did you, in response to that, call somebody?
Yes.
Who did you call?
The police.
Okay. And what about your husband? Did you call him? too?
Yes, I called my husband.
And so you arrived, what were you directed or what were you supposed to be doing at that point once you called your husband and the police based on a conversation that you had?
To go back to Anderson County.
Right here in Clinton?
The jailhouse. And then from there, we come here.
Okay, so you went out to the river
Yes.
to where the Anderson County Jail is first?
Yes.
And did you speak to people there?
Yes.
And what did you do next?
We come right over here.
Okay. And were you present when, or rather, did you speak with the police there, or did you come directly here after going there?
We were directed to come here.
Okay. Who did you meet when you got here?
A detective, but I do not remember his name.
Okay. And what were the circumstances of how Rebecca, she was riding with you, or how, tell us?
She was riding with me until we got here, and then she went over into the detective's car.
Okay.
And from here, we went to Oak Ridge.
And were you
Police
present
department.
when Rebecca and the detective were first interchanging?
I'm sorry?
Were you present when they were first interacting,
Yes.
her and the detective?
Yes.
And he eventually took her?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do from that point?
I was told to follow him.
And did you in fact follow him?
Yes.
Where to?
To the Oak Ridge Police Department.
And who did you speak to there?
Several police officers.
Okay. And did you eventually give a statement?
Yes, the following day, I believe.
Okay. About the things that we're talking about today.
Yes.
The Sean Finnegan that we're talking about, is he seated here in the courtroom?
Yes.
And that refrigerator that you saw in the apartment the few days that you said you told the jury about that, was that scooted against the wall?
Yes.
That's
And cross-examination.
Fine.
Okay, before we get into the defense cross-examination of Mahogany, one thing kind of, I didn't remark on it, but can y'all believe that Rebecca let this woman, as nice as she is, as kind as she is, as helpful as she is and caring, Rebecca let her come up in there, her one true friend, let her come in that house, in that bedroom with that body in the freezer. You see what I'm saying? She should have said, no, I got it. You can wait for me downstairs. Oh, no, girl, I got it. Go ahead. I'll be right down with my stuff. Okay, I'm just saying. Just no consideration.
So you met Sean before you met Rebecca?
Yes.
And they were living there for a little while before she got there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys smoked pot together, get away from the house and the kids every once in a while, right?
Yeah, just get out.
Yeah. And so you'd say you guys hung out for maybe over a year, going back and forth to the apartment, right? Mm-hmm. And while Becca lived there, she would go with you to the store and different things. You said she rode with you to the store?
Yeah, 2 times.
Okay.
And all.
But she'd come over and borrow your phone?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that you didn't realize that when she was texting, you didn't realize what she was texting. Y'all were smoking pot or whatever, right? And you didn't watch
I just
it.
let her use my phone.
You just let her use it. But you've seen them since, right?
Yes.
And you read all those texts, didn't you? And you were kind of surprised by them, weren't you?
Yes.
Because she was texting a whole bunch of sexual stuff to him, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. And you didn't know she was doing that, did you?
No.
And you didn't know that at the time that you took her to the shelter, any of that. You didn't know any of that at the time, did you?
The text?
The text. You didn't know that she was texting him while he was at work, all this sexting and all this stuff. You had no idea what she was doing with that, right?
No.
Okay. Because she was smart enough to delete them before she gave the phone back, right?
Yes.
Boom.
And who she was trying to contact on Facebook was an ex-fiance, Ramses, right?
Yes.
So whenever Sean was kind of saying don't let her use Facebook, maybe because she was contacting her ex-fiance, Ramses, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
And through this whole time, you guys still continued to hang out, and you guys, I think y'all spent Thanksgiving together,
Yes.
right? And you never called the police during this time because you weren't really fearful that there was anything going on there.
Each time that she come over, at that time there was an emergency happening then. It didn't happen just then. It had happened before.
Right, because she told you that, right?
Yes.
You didn't see it happen. She told
No,
you.
I didn't see any of that happen.
Right. So you only know what she told you.
Correct.
Okay. So everything that you know about the relationship between her and Sean is basically what she told you, because you didn't even see the text she was texting to him, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
your only impression of their relationship is based on what she told you, right?
Yes.
And that day that y'all left, on that August 5th day, that's the day that she came and said, today's the day, right?
Yes. But I have witnessed him talking to her badly. Personally, myself.
Okay. But that was the day that she chose, that today's the day, right? To leave on that August 5th? That was the day that she was ready to go.
I said, this is the day I can help you if you want out. And she wanted out. So I was like, let me help.
Okay. She wanted out. She wanted out away from that house, right?
Away from him, yes.
She said she wanted to be away from him.
Yes.
Okay. And you said that you kind of had a sort of a big sister, sort of motherly sort of role with her, right? And
Yeah.
Because she would give you the impression that she needed help with a lot of stuff, right?
Yes.
She didn't work.
No, she didn't.
You knew that she was a CNA before, didn't you?
Yeah, she had told me that she had tried to do that work, yes.
Okay. And for a couple of years, I think is what she said.
Yes.
Okay. You knew that, did she tell you that she'd been kicked out of multiple homes that she lived in?
I knew that she had trouble on and off through her homes, yes.
Okay. And you said that Sean was in the habit of kind of letting people crash at his place, it sounded like. He would give people a place to stay every once in a while, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he'd share what he had.
Yes.
He took care of his mother.
Yes.
And before Rebecca Dishman got there, you didn't have any issues with him at all, did you?
No.
Now, you mentioned something about seeing her with a black eye and glasses, but that's when she came over, she had a black eye and broken glasses, right?
Yes.
And she told you what happened.
Yes, she told me what happened.
You didn't see it.
No, I did not see it.
And she was able to get on Facebook and stuff on your phone, right?
Yes.
And use those apps to contact people.
Yes.
Okay. She had a car.
Yes.
Wait a minute,
She
wait,
wasn't
wait.
locked in that house.
Wait,
was
wait,
she?
wait.
No.
Wait.
I mean, she came over.
Did he just say she had a car? And you right, and Renee, Rebecca don't care for nobody but Rebecca. But did he just say she got a car? It's hard for me to rewind on here and don't go too far back. Let me see.
Apps to contact people.
Yes.
Okay. She had a car.
Yes.
A car?
She wasn't locked in that house, was she?
No.
I mean, she came over when she wanted
She
to come
came
over.
over, yeah. If she was
Josh.
allowed.
I'm sorry.
How the fuck she had a car,
No,
Rebecca?
go ahead.
If she was allowed, yes, she come over.
If she was allowed, but that's, you say if she was allowed because that's what she told you.
I knew Sean
Right.
had a car.
Yes, or if Sean had told me not to let her come over.
Because she was Facebooking her ex-boyfriend.
Or he didn't want her over.
Well, you don't know what was in his head though, right?
Right.
Okay. So basically, you see her with these bruises, but you didn't take her to a shelter during that time,
No.
or call the police.
No.
Okay. And this was over a period of months.
Yes.
And so, as our mother and big sister, you didn't think there was anything going on enough to call the police or any during that time. Everything seemed fine, right?
Well, no.
But it wasn't enough to call the police.
Well, I wanted to, but my husband told me to stay in my own business.
You're different than your husband, though, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're completely different. You've already kind of acknowledged that, right?
Yeah.
He's a stay-at-home, stay-out-of-business. That's not you, right?
Right.
But for the 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, suppose these bruises and stuff, and she's telling you what's happening, right? But it wasn't to a level where you thought something had to happen at that moment, right?
Right, because some of it was sexual.
Right, right. And so people that have rough sex sometimes have bruises.
Correct.
Yeah.
I missed that. But let me say this. The defense attorney has a very keen style and a keen knack for making every witness seem like they partially to blame or like they did something wrong. Right? I mean, we have watched this defense attorney grill the hell out of people who ain't had nothing to do with the crime. Like they did something wrong.
And you moved out of there in 2020. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have just a second, Judge?
Yes, sir.
That's all good.
Thank you. Can you recall?
You told us a little bit about Rebecca's persona, so to speak, and childlike.
Exactly,
and
Tiki.
Mother relationship with her. Tell the members of the jury about Rebecca in terms of just the honesty and her ability to
Objection,
speak
Judge,
to
just
people.
Objection, he's just bolstering his witness again and repeating the same thing she's
No,
already
it's
said.
character for honesty. I guess you can tell.
Overruled. You can ask.
I'm going to ask about her demeanor and her person and her persona, who she was, the type of person she was. Did she talk to you about things in an open manner?
Yes.
Welcome back, Tracy. Why did you
Did
head to the
Rebecca have the ability, based on what
box?
you know her as, to filter things?
No.
Did Rebecca have the ability to lie?
No.
What is her character for? What do you
Objection,
believe
Judge.
that her-
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
What's your opinion of her honesty?
Objection, Judge. I mean, I think it's the same question asked a different
I'll
way.
sustain that, Judge. Any other questions?
You said that she had, that Rebecca needed help, and there was sexual, things that were sexual in nature, right? Tell the members of the jury, what is it that concerned you about that? What was she, what particularly concerned you about that?
Judge, we might need to approach her on this. I'm not sure what her answer is going to be.
He asked the question, now I'm following up.
Okay. Let's go to lunch. What do y'all think? So y'all come back at 1:15. We'll start back at that time.
All right.
Child, not let's go to lunch. The judge say in the middle of this testimony, the judge say, how about let's go to lunch? Child, Judge Ash is a trip.
He's raping her and having sex.
But it was sexual.
Did you test?
I think he gonna keep her there to see about
Take have a seat. You can once they close the door, you can re-ask your question. Let's see what the answer
Okay.
is going to be.
On cross-examination, he, during the line of questioning about what your concern was, and you talked about not only the bruises and whatnot, but you said there was also, essentially you were alluding to abuse of a sexual nature between the two?
Judge, that's not what she testified to. I'm going to object.
I don't have a jury, so I'm letting them ask the question. So go ahead.
Did you testify that there was also things of a sexual nature that were going on abuse-wise in that household?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the judge what it is that you knew was happening that caused you so concern that you tried to reach out to relatives and you tried to take her to a shelter.
Forcing, I'm so sorry.
What?
Forcing sex toys inside of her.
Right, you told me that earlier.
Yes.
And you
And
told me
then,
she told you that when y'all were driving.
yes. Yes.
before
and then,
that.
Oh, okay. And then choking.
And did she tell you that when y'all were driving?
No.
She told you that before.
Yes, when before.
So she told you in the past that.
But it was sexually.
Okay, when did she tell you that? Okay.
I
She
don't.
told you they were having sex and he was choking her.
Yes, maybe.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to ask her?
For that particular issue, no.
Okay. Are there other issues you want to ask her?
This man here is a perfect example of sleep with both eyes open, okay? Oh, he blinking more today.
I just wanted to explore that with her, Judge, because she said
And
that came out of press.
so tell me how that comes in. She's going to say that Ms. Dishman told me that Mr. Finnegan was choking her during sex. How How'd that come in?
because he's raping her and having sex with her in a way that caused her so much concern that she's going to run her out of county to explain the completion. It is Rebecca Dishman telling those things that aren't the truth of the matter, whether or not, because she doesn't know if she's being raped. It's her concern and why she acted and reacted the way she did.
Okay, I understand. And now what's your objection to that?
It's a characterization of her testimony. It's still hearsay, and he's trying to introduce some kind of prior bad act, once again, some kind of rape or something alleging rape that she never even alleged. She already testified that they had kinky sex. I mean, Rebecca Dishman had kinky sex. What her testimony was that she had bruises related to
Well, that already came in.
sex. That's right, and that's fine. But he's trying to conflate that to rape.
That's not what he's doing. What he's
That
saying
is the stretch.
is that she's saying that I think what is that she is saying that he choked her during sex.
Right, which is a sexual act.
Right. And so I guess what's your objection to that coming in?
Right, she's speculating, and he's trying to characterize it, whether it's for pleasure or whether it was for fear.
Whatever it was.
Right, and so, but they're introducing it to suggest that it's abuse.
Right.
And there's no evidence that him choking anybody during sex or whatever would even be abuse. It's a sex act. Ms. Dishman already admitted to rough sex or kinky sex and all these other things.
Right.
So she's basically making a judgment call on choking during sex.
I think you need to
Through this witness.
I think you need to rethink that.
No, I mean,
I think you got I think there's a legitimate objection to this, but we're getting the field there. So what we'll do is we'll come back at 1:15. We'll put her back up here before the jury comes in, and then I'll let y'all state your objections again. Then I'll rule on. Okay?
Thank you.
1:15. Thank you.
Baby, that attorney ain't got time for all that, okay? I muted myself. I said this last night, and I said it a couple of times. Hey, Lady Sparkle. Thank you. The judge government then mixtape probably because it's not on everyday occurrence for most couples. Right, but in this particular relationship, even the witness herself, the participant, she already testified to the fact that it was consensual. And even towards the end, according to Rebecca's own testimony, she never even then, her testimony, even under the state's questioning, where they trying to paint the defendant to be all the one to blame, she never said anything about rape, right? She never said that type of stuff. And so they are kind of pushing it. Hold on, I have it set up because for some reason I thought when this clock came on that was the end of the testimony, and that was not. But I got it queued up. Hold on, let me see. 3 hours. I got it queued up to show it like this. Let me see. But I just want to make sure this is the right part. However, I just 350 phone. Which when I looked at this recording, I was like, that can't be all of it because I know her testimony was long. But then again, maybe not. Okay, hold on. Okay, right here. Okay, so let me share screen off of YouTube. And thank y'all for being members of the Lit Lane Jury Box, where we look at these trials, discuss them, and see, if what we think matches the verdict in the actual trial. Let me say stop. Hold on. No, I want to remove it from the studio. Okay. Girl, I hate in StreamYard that it don't show the stickers. Like, I know that's the handcuff one because it say cuff me. But in the StreamYard studio, like when I put it up on the screen, this how it come across, child. But in the chat, y'all can see it. Let me see. Present, share. Damn, time passed fast tonight. But I think we gonna actually we are actually going to finish her testimony without a problem. Share. Okay. And then play. And then slowly fast forward. Slowly. All right. Y'all, this I think. Well, no, we've been having good conversations on all
In
of.
general, the issue is about whether or not, in regard to this sexual talk that they were having, that, that Ms.
I like this
Gibson
judge.
told her that
He's short. He's very,
Mr.
very
Taylor
short.
choked her during sex.
Yes, that he was not only physically abusive, causing bruises and bumps, scrapes, and that he was also sexually abusive to her, and that was what they asked on cross, and she was explaining the reason why this crescendo was happening to get her to the point where she needed to get her out of there was turning sexual as well, to sexual abuse in addition to domestic
And
abuse.
so that's based on what she told.
That's right, Judge.
Told her.
Yes, that's
All right.
what
I'll sustain the objection. I won't allow that question. So do you have other questions you'd like to ask her?
I do not, Judge.
Do you have other questions you'd like to ask her? Okay, so ma'am, you can step down, you're free to go.
Oh, thank you.
You can go home, you can stay here, whatever you'd like to do. Okay?
Now, how in the hell? You know, they didn't let Mahogany give all the goods up, right? Because how in the heck Cole, her husband, who mind his own business, testimony was longer than Mahogany's. But I think Mahogany testimony got cut kind of short because a lot of what she would have, a lot of the testimony that she would have added would have came across as hearsay. So I think that's where the problem lied. Wait a minute. How would I say that? I think that's where the problem laid. That sounds funny. I think that would have been child. I can't cope. So we finished listening to Mahogany's testimony, and we got we still got 10 minutes left, here for this session of trial watch with Demetra. Trial watch with Demetra. So we're gonna go to this next witness, and her testimony is only 10 minutes. So let's see.
I believe it will be Jennifer Miller. Did she need to be excused in front of the jury?
I don't think so. I'll tell them I'll excuse her. I'll tell her I did it. And it's Jennifer Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you bring her jury in, please?
Just to ask you one
Oh,
thing.
1 second. Yes, sir.
When we left on a lunch break in the Sally Port, there were jurors there that kind of made eye contact, and we kind of just shoved it on. And
You're good.
I don't know if you had told them that we can't
I'll
even
tell
say
them-
hello or
I'll tell
goodbye.
them again. I should have done that, so I apologize. You're exactly
Also,
right.
Mahogany was more
Okay,
emotionally
right,
involved,
please.
so the defense wouldn't want that. Right. Baby, this judge here on this case had his work cut out for him. They're making him work for his check, his salary. We watched a few trials now, and we don't see the judge having to make so many decisions as much as this one here has. Yeah, and I enjoy it too. So I'm gonna make sure going forward that I don't cut
Thank you. Have a seat, please.
out a lot of the interaction when it's happening.
Just 2 or 3 things. One thing is our person who was testifying, she finished, and I told her she was excused, so she's gone. So we'll get to the next witness in a minute. The second thing is I told y'all it was important not to speak to the attorneys or other people like that. And so I should have told you.
Oh, okay,
I also told them
Renee.
not to speak to you. So
You
if
know,
see them in the hall
I'm
or
gonna fix
wandering
that right
around,
now.
they
The
kinda
clock
turn
on my
walk away,
computer is
and
so
if they leave,
fast.
It just means they're following my instructions. So
Let me
that's
fix
basically
that
it.
right
And
now.
the third thing I want to tell you is
Thank you.
you may have heard either side make an objection for various reasons. And sometimes I'll ask the other side for response, sometimes I don't. And I'll either say sustain or overrule. And I didn't explain to you what that means. So what it means is if one side, let's say the state makes an objection and I sustain it, that means they're objecting to the question or what the person's going to testify to. And so if I sustain it, you cannot consider the question. You cannot consider the answer. You just have to wipe it completely out of your mind. If I overrule it, then then you can consider it, but you give it the same weight as anybody else that would testify. So if you hear me say sustain, that means the question is in my opinion, legal opinion, is improper and cannot be asked, and the person can't answer. Or if I say overruled, then the question's okay and they can't answer. Make sense? I apologize I didn't explain that to you when I first started. I'm just used to saying sustained and overruled. That's just kind of what my life is. Occasionally I'll say that to my children. They'll say something, I go sustained or overruled. So, all right. So let's get our next witness.
That's funny.
Say calls Jennifer.
Hey, Joy.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Little Lane Jury Box. Okay, I'm trying to fix my time on this computer. That way it won't be messing up my StreamYard time, too.
And if you'll step up here next to me, please. Good morning. If you'll raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. If you'll have a seat right here, if you'll tell me your first name and last name and spell them both, and then if you don't mind, I need you to speak up in the microphone right there in front of you, so everybody can hear you.
Okay.
Can you do that for me? Okay. And tell me your first name and last name and spell them both.
Jennifer Miller, JenniferMiller, Miller.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Questions, General?
Thank you, Art. Can you tell us where you most recently worked?
The Pint House.
Where is that?
On
Oh,
Merchants.
I got it
55
fixed. Thank you, Emma. Now I've been
Merchants.
meaning to do that.
Is
Thank
that here
you.
in Anderson County or is that another county?
It's Knox County,
Okay. How long did you work at the Pint House?
about 5 years.
Wait a
While
minute.
you were there, did you know
Oh, yeah,
someone
I
named
see
Sean
it.
Finnegan?
I'm tripping.
Yes.
Could you tell us about your interactions with Mr. Finnegan?
We had an overlap in our shifts. We worked together about 3 hours a few times a week. And he worked a lot. He was reliable, on time.
What was his job there?
He was the cook.
In the course of your work there, did you ever meet anyone named Rebecca Dishman?
No.
Did you know anybody or had seen anybody come in to the shop or the bar there that you knew as Jennifer Paxton?
Yes, she had come in and used the bathroom a couple of times.
You said she come and use the bathroom a couple times. Is she someone who would, frequent the area? You've seen her around?
I had seen her walking up and down the street, yes.
Did you ever have any interaction with her?
Not really, no.
Okay. Was that something that was encouraged to have people come in to use your bathroom?
No.
Why is that?
If you let one, they all start wanting to. There is a big homeless population around there, and it's not a public restroom.
Yeah, I was about to ask what you meant by they, but you knew her as transient and homeless there in the
Yes.
area. Did you ever have conversations with Mr. Finnegan about your personal lives?
Yes.
Could you tell us what he would tell you about his romantic involvements?
I knew that he had 2 girlfriends, Becky and Jenny.
Not
Could
a
you
pimp.
repeat those names,
I knew
please?
that he had 2 girlfriends named Becky and Jenny.
Okay. And what did he say about those individuals?
I can't think of anything specifically. I just know that we had talked about it, that they were both staying there with him. And I knew that his mom was sick. I think he might have told me that they were helping him take care of her, maybe.
Okay. Do you remember if this was like before or after COVID, or what time frame do you recall this being in?
Before.
Okay. Did y'all regularly talk about people he was dating, people others were dating?
Yes.
Is that normal conversation there in the bar with employees?
Yes.
So did you follow up with him about having multiple girlfriends?
I did. We kind of would joke about it, or I would. I would
Okay.
joke about him having 2 girlfriends.
And so did that situation stay the same?
He told me at one point that Jenny had to go.
Did you follow up on any questions about that?
No.
Okay. And about when was it that, if you recall, that he made that statement that Jenny has to go?
I don't really recall.
Okay. How would you characterize sort of the nature of the Pint House? What is the, I guess, atmosphere like?
It's a dive bar.
Now, this lady on the stand is a co-worker of Sean's. I don't think that this other girlfriend that they call it Jenny, that's not Jennifer Paxton, the victim. That was some other girl. Okay.
Bar, mostly regulars. You can smoke in there. Everybody gets pretty intoxicated. I mean, it is a bar. It's open very late. Everybody kind of knows everybody.
Not how I know, girl.
Rowdy cheers.
Yeah. Yes.
What kind
We
of
gonna
security
see.
did you have there?
At the time, just
I think I know. I think no. I know Jennifer. I know Jenny short for Jennifer, but I don't think it's the same person. And one of the reasons why I don't think so is because when Rebecca number one would be that when Rebecca testified, while the victim was alive and chained up to the bed, that's when Rebecca says she got to know some stuff about the victim when they talked. She didn't already know her. Number two, I think it's safe to assume because we heard the testimony just now from Nosy Mahogany that she had never seen the victim, Jennifer, at the house before. But she testified to knowing and having seen and having communicated with the other ex-girlfriends. Okay? And Renee says the girl who would come in to use the bathroom was Jennifer, the one who was unalive. Right. Lady Steph say, but if it's not the same person, why would the phrase of she needs to go be pertinent? But was it pertinent? Or was it that they just asked that question? But we're gonna keep listening. We're gonna keep listening. And then mixologist, okay, so mixology and Lady Steph both quite on to the fact because it's all about Jenny has to go. So we're gonna keep listening and we're gonna see, okay? But I'm thinking that it's a totally different Jenny than the victim. You know, and I really think so because of the two facts. But we're gonna keep listening and see. We're gonna see.
people that we hired, just regular security guards.
Any protection available to people working the bar or kitchen staff? Anything used to get patrons' attention?
We usually just had one security guard that would walk around and stay with us until after close. They would come in late at night and stay with us until after close.
Things were getting too rowdy at the bar. Some people were getting unruly. Was there anything that employees could do to get their attention?
We would hit the bar with a baseball bat
Okay.
to make a loud noise and get their attention.
Child, what kind of place is that?
Behind the opening of the bar, just right behind where you could reach around and grab it.
Accessible to any employee?
Mm-hmm.
To your knowledge, from the last shift you had, is that bat still there?
No.
When did you notice it wasn't there?
I don't know when we noticed. I'm not really sure.
Do you remember if it was before or after COVID as a marker?
Before.
Okay. Did it ever turn back up?
No.
Do you have any personal knowledge of what happened to the bat?
No.
Okay. You indicated that Mr. Finnegan was a cook.
Yes.
Not just unique to him, but any cooks. Is there some unique thing that they all have a preference for?
Their knives and utensils.
And is that something that he, like other chefs, had a preference for?
Yes.
So could you tell us about your observations of him with knives?
I know that he had his own that he brought. Is there anything more specific?
Just your knowledge of it? Was it a good knife?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, as much as I know about knives.
Was it reputation among the staff of being quality?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize Mr. Finnegan that you worked with here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point him out to the court? May the record reflect she's identified the defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, cross-examination.
Thank you.
Hard drinking and bad decisions. What a
Most
combination.
cooks and chefs have knives,
Mhm.
right? You worked in restaurants for a while now,
Yes.
right? Ever seen a chef that didn't have knives?
No.
No. Have you worked in other bars?
Not, restaurants, not bars.
Restaurants?
Hey,
This is probably
Tweety,
a
welcome
rowdy
back to
place
the
compared
Nigeria
to
Box.
some of the other places you worked.
Yes.
Late nights, right?
Mhm.
Open till 3, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you work there, you might stay a little bit past 3,
Yes.
right? Because you'd have to clean up and shift drinks,
Yes.
stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And folks that work in restaurants, I worked in restaurants a long time ago. It's a late night kind of lifestyle. Would you agree?
Yes.
Maybe different than the people who work during the day, right?
Yes.
Because you're usually working when other people are eating or resting, right?
Right.
And so a lot of activity happens after midnight for folks who hang around those type of bars and drinking and smoking, and sometimes drugs are pretty common,
Yes.
right? Smoking marijuana is pretty common
Yes.
amongst restaurant employees generally, right? Your experience with Sean is that he was reliable. He was on time. He always showed up for work. He worked all the time.
Yes.
And his shift would be early afternoon till wee hours of the morning, right?
Yes. He came in at 5 p.m.
Okay, so almost a 12-hour shift sometimes, right? 10 to 12-hour shift. So
Yes.
I imagine he was sometimes
Be
there
right-
till maybe 4
Be
in
right
the
back.
morning,
Let me go
5
check
in
and
the
see
morning
what Rock
sometimes.
barking about.
Okay. Christmas time, around Christmas time is a really busy time for restaurants, isn't it?
Yes.
And in fact, it's the busiest time of the year for restaurants, right?
Yes.
And so anybody that can work usually has to work in those places, right?
Yes.
So that week between Christmas and New Year's, one of the busiest weeks of the year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so Sean probably was working the whole time, probably every day.
Probably.
And you were, y'all were probably open on Christmas,
Yes.
and you were probably open on Christmas Eve,
Yes.
and you were probably open the day after Christmas,
Yeah.
and the next day. You're open all time, right?
Yes.
And he worked just about every day.
Yes.
And if it was the week between Christmas and New Year's, he probably was working every day.
Yes.
Objection. Probably needs to be foundation if she knows what his shift was during that week. I mean, there's.
All of them, roll. Go ahead.
Okay, because you testified that you knew what shift you worked, right?
Right.
And you know what shift you worked.
Right.
And your testimony is that week, just about everybody was probably working every day, right?
Probably.
Okay, and since he was a lone cook, he would have been working every day. Okay. That's it, thank you.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can sit down. You're free to stay in the corner. We're free to go. Who's next?
Okay, we went right through these people, right through them. We're gonna watch the next witness because it's short. Hold on.
Sir, if you'll step up here with me, please.
Okay. Yeah, I think Rock on crack sometime. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he just get the barking and stuff. Except the
Raise
time.
your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
That's
truth.
horrible
So
to
you
work
got.
so
Yes, I
much.
do.
That's why he's so
If you
mean
see-
and evil.
If you state both your first name and last name and spell them both.
Except the time he was mutilated somebody. Okay.
My name is Robert Mansfield, Robert.
Damn, he got some shoulders on him.
Mansfield.
Thanks, sir. If you be sure and speak in the microphone, that'll help everybody.
Now that's what you call some broad shoulders. That man's shoulders has to be the widest set of shoulders I've ever seen in my entire life. Have y'all ever seen shoulders that broad? On a regular size, like his head and neck size is regular. Wow, that's some really broad shoulders.
Right here. So questions, General?
Mr. Mansfield, where are you employed?
Anderson County Sheriff's Department.
In what capacity?
I'm the patrol lieutenant,
And how long have you been a patrol lieutenant with Anderson County?
creeping up on 8 years now.
Okay. And so obviously you were the patrol lieutenant back in 2019
Yes, sir.
and 2020
Yes, sir.
during COVID.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with regard to that specifically, were you on duty August the 5th of 2020
Yes, sir, I was.
as a patrol lieutenant
Yes, sir.
in a full marked patrol car and full uniform like you are today?
No, sir, my patrol car wasn't marked.
Okay.
Oh, he got
So as a
shoulder
lieutenant,
pads.
you ride in an
Oh.
unmarked car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you receive a call for service that day that brought you here to the Jolly building?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. What was the nature of the call? First off, how did you get
Steph.
the call, and what was the nature of the call that brought you to Jolly building?
I was contacted via radio about a young lady who had shown up to our office building, the parking lot of our office building,
Hold on.
to report a series of crimes. And the officer who she was speaking with,
Hey, a snack. Don't worry about being late or tardy or anything like that because the lit lane, the lit lane jury box, only lit lane jury box, not lit lane, not the pit crew, not the pit crew moderators, but the lit lane jury box has a holiday week pass that I'm not going to announce you as late or tardy. It's for this week only. It is specifically geared towards the lit lane jury box. Okay? So welcome, everyone. Welcome. And so either he got some shoulder pads or he just got some extra broad shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be watching his shoulders very closely. See, this is why you need two steps, okay? You need two steps because one step going to be reasonable. One step ain't. You're going to have one step that got to come here to look. And then you got the other step that look like I see you coming from a mile away. You know what I'm saying? You got to have two steps in order to have a good balance. You got the step that's good on one shoulder, and then you got the naughty step on the other shoulder. Now, in the case between these two steps, they switch. They interchangeable, okay? Tracy say membership has its perks. Right. Or maybe membership has its downfalls, right? Because y'all see, I tend to really be on top of when the pit crew come up here late. I see y'all coming from a mile away. Let's continue to get through his testimony. So he was at the jailhouse. I'm gonna stop talking. He was at the jailhouse when they were trying to get in when Rebecca was in the car. Mahogany and Rebecca. Okay, let's continue.
felt that the crimes were serious enough to warrant a supervisor to respond.
Okay, and that would be you, the
Yes, sir.
supervisor. And did you in fact respond to the Jolly building?
Yes, sir, I did.
And who did you encounter there at the Jolly building?
When I arrived on scene, I met with a Miss Rebecca Dishman.
And what did you do next as a result of your meeting there at the Jolly building with Miss Dishman?
I approached Miss Dishman and asked her if I introduced myself and asked her how I could help.
Okay. And did you discuss anything with her at that point, or did you transport her somewhere else?
Miss Dishman started to tell me the story about how
What do you say?
To the effect on the listener, Judge, that she's going to tell him about a crime that occurred in different jurisdictions.
I'll sustain the objection. You can tell me what he did.
Based on what she said to you, did you respond in a certain way based on what she said to you there at the Jolly building?
yes, sir. Based on her statements to me, I offered to transport her in my vehicle to Oak Ridge Police Department
Okay.
to report these incidents.
All right. And did you do any radio traffic, or did you tell anybody that that's what you were doing, or warn anybody at the Oak Ridge Police Department?
Yes, sir, I did. I contacted our dispatch via radio, let them know I'd be providing a courtesy ride for Miss Dishman. And then I got on the my telephone and contacted Oak Ridge, asking to speak to the on-duty supervisor.
Okay. And did you in fact do that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And did you in fact transport Miss Dishman to the Oak Ridge Police Department as you're testifying to? Did you actually bring her there?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. How long of a ride is that?
At that time of day, it couldn't have taken more than 20 minutes.
Okay. Did Miss Dishman and you discuss what the nature of the complaint was?
Yes, sir. I didn't question Miss Dishman specifically about any incidents. I simply asked if she was okay, if she needed any sort of assistance, medical assistance, anything like that, if she was injured. Miss Dishman did continually talk to me, unprompted, but telling me about her experiences.
Okay. Without telling us what she said, she did tell you the nature of the reason why you're bringing her to the Oak Ridge Police Department?
Yes, sir. She did.
Okay. And who did you deliver to her to at the Oak Ridge Police Department?
The exact name of the officer, there were several officers on scene. The exact names I actually don't recall. I simply delivered her to the scene, and that pretty much ended my my involvement in the incident.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to observe her demeanor? What was she like? Tell the jury.
At the time I made contact with her, she was very solemn, very serious. She seemed to be rational. She wasn't speaking in a hurried manner. She was really anxious to tell me her story, tell me her experiences.
Okay. And once you got her to the Oak Ridge PD, did you stick around, or were you asked to stick around?
I did stay around just in case I was needed for anything else.
Okay. And what was it that you thought you might be needed for?
If after they interviewed Miss Dishman, they wanted to ask me if her story was different somehow, I could provide that information.
And did you in fact conference with other officers without saying what they said? Did you do that after Ms. Dishman arrived and was questioned at the PD?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Questions?
When you met with Ms. Dishman, she was calm and collected and wanted to tell you her story,
Yes, sir.
and she was rational,
Seemed to be.
and she was presenting as a victim,
Yes, sir.
and you all treated her as a victim like you're supposed to when someone comes in and presents as a victim.
Yes, sir.
And so you took her to be interviewed by detectives based on the fact that she presented herself as a victim.
Yes, sir.
And without you asking questions, she was continuously trying to tell you what happened to her.
As soon as I established that this wasn't going to be investigated by our agency, but Oak Ridge, yes, sir. I didn't ask any pointed questions about the incident. I simply asked about her well-being.
Okay, but she wanted to tell you about it.
Yes, sir. She wanted to speak.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Any redirect?
Very good observation,
He just
Joy.
asked you if that she presented herself as a victim. Did she ever say that she was a victim, or was she telling you what happened?
She never described herself to me as a victim. She simply was telling me about crimes she knew the details about. I said she did present as a victim. She also could have been presenting as a witness. I wasn't clear at the time.
She also could have been flirting with you, officer.
At the time, you didn't consider her a suspect.
I'm
No,
just
sir.
saying.
And when she came in, she basically said she was or she told you she was fearful or something, and presented as a victim.
That's the atmosphere that was present at the scene.
Okay. Thank you.
Any redirect? Thanks, sir. Step down. Free stand department, free to go. Who's next?
Joy Hines?
Okay, little lane jury box. If y'all not in no rush It's another, y'all see the time thing up there. Let me see how long that is. Let me see. 4:30. Oh, hell no, that's another 3 hours. That's another 3 hours, child. No. Let's get through Brother Man testimony right here. He be almost the first real black person we didn't see in this whole trial. A whole bunch of black people coming up after that. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna end here. And we're gonna pick up tomorrow from this point, and it seems like now we're going to start getting into a lot of the investigational testimony. Okay, so winter. I need for you to be prepared tomorrow, to not be ready to go into witness protection. Because sometimes when we get to the law enforcement part of it, baby, Little Lane be asking about why they didn't get this evidence, why they didn't do that evidence. We have a tendency to be talking about the cops that dropped the ball. And winter normally goes into juror witness protection. Okay? So just go ahead and be prepared, everybody. Look at Renee. Every day we talk about play it. Well, what I'll do is, like, I wouldn't mind going 3 hours as long as I come on like an hour earlier. You know what I'm saying? But for tonight, you guys, we're going to end here. Okay? And we will come... and we will come back and we'll pick up right here at this minute mark. Okay? All right. And Renee, girl, I'm not finna fool with you. I'm not finna fool with you. And I want to end it right here because I actually had to go into playing it from this. I need to go ahead and get my recordings, because when I do my recordings, I can monetize the video. And when I don't get all the proper recordings and I stream it like this directly from the channel, I can't monetize the video. So I got to get that together, you guys. But I'm going to have it ready. Y'all have a great night. And I shall see y'all on tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Oh, heads up, I found the actual petition from Drake about Kendrick Lamar's song. I actually found it. I actually have it downloaded, the correct one. So I'll be coming on early tomorrow to read over that and discuss that content with you guys tomorrow. All right, good night.